So, good evening. I'm going to start tonight off by answering the telephone. Come on.
I have some news from Churston. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clarke was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clarke. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
So, Sir Carmichael Clarke in Churston. Looks like he has a nice house.
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clarke, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon.
So let's just explore this crime scene. What was he doing?
Jab has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth.
A key. Oh,
it is pointless.
Keys. Okay. Poirot doesn't want to take the keys, I guess. The watch is broken.
An Oriental dragon. It's an old piece, much older than the pocket watch on which it was fastened.
His wallet.
Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet.
So theft again was not the motive.
A signet ring, very probably with the Clarke family's coat of arms.
Again, we have our ABC railway guide. This time, it's open to the seas.
An ABC guide. The murderer's customary signature, covered in blood this time. Sir Carmichael's throat was cut. It's a clean incision, a professional murder. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush. Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises. This place is very calming.
Wildflowers, a rabbit hole. There's a seagull over here.
The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening.
What's this over here?
The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. The body is just in front of a bush, one of the only bushes in the surrounding area. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Sorry about that. My daughter has learned how to roll over, and she keeps getting herself into precarious positions. Okay, what was Sir Michael's position when he was killed? So we'll use these clues to deduce his position. There is a wound with a clear outline. The zone soiled with blood covers a conical shape area which extends away from the bush. That's probably one. The body was still warm. Sir Carmichael was wearing a signet ring. That's probably not one for this question. The body was found in front of the only bush in the surrounding area. So, probably that one. And probably the wound with a clear outline. Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush.
Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut the throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, our next question. Did Sir Carmichael see his murderer? And we deduced that the victim had his back to the bush, so that will probably be helpful. The victim only had one wound, so he had no defensive wounds. The body was still warm. Signet ring. Trampled grass behind the bush. So we probably are going to be deducing that the murderer was hiding behind the bush. Sir Carmichael died without seeing who struck him. Here comes Jap.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions remain unanswered, but I am certain of one thing.
What do you guys think? Was the killer an opportunist? Or was the murder carefully planned? Probably, since he was hiding, he or she was hiding behind a bush. The killer probably knew that Sir Carmichael walked there and would come around that bush.
The killer has prepared his crime very carefully.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements well to plan such an attack.
theft could be the motive for the crime, or the murder was very violent. Well, the cash wasn't taken and the signet ring wasn't taken, so the murder was
The
very
murderer struck
violent.
with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother, Franklin Clarke. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
Let's see if we can go up to the house.